Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, 11:15 a.m., still in the Indian time zone. I wanted to show you guys a quick trade that my community and I got in a couple days back. It was opening this trade right here after one of my stops was hit, right? So basically, we were actually up here, and I was already in a short trade from this area. Then I got stopped out right here. When I started seeing that this candle was not looking like a bullish candle, it looked like there's aggressive selling happening in this candle. Then I decided to short right here, okay? And I didn't take profit all the way till my first target profit way down here around 71.75 or so, okay? Um, and so you could see, my position right there, right? 75.21, 71.87. This is just due to, the fast moving market and slippage. But that's a pretty, fantastic gain, right? So if we calculate that from this particular area right here all the way to down here, wherever I sold, that was about a 47-48% gain because we're just doing a 10x leverage trade. So this is a 4.7% movement or 4.8% movement, and multiply that by 10, so that's a 48% gain right there, right? So pretty nice trade that we got with kind of, very little effort, right? Because again, for the most part, when you start realizing that the market is showing you that there are certain trends that are being formed, and not only are there certain trends being formed on smaller time frames, but the larger time frames are actually in agreement with the smaller time frames, right? It makes trading that much easier. Okay, and then you don't have to sort of try to catch the falling knife, whether it's longs or shorts, right? And so for the last couple of months, I've said multiple times that shorting from even back here, I've been shorting basically from up here. Okay, now I'll be honest, I didn't catch the top of shorting way up here in June. I was actually bullish all the way till this point right here, and when I started seeing this lower high right here form after high, lower high, and lower high, right? This is when I start to become a bear, okay? And I haven't changed my bearish outlook on the market, not here, not here, and I haven't changed it right here. I didn't even change it when this whole thing happened. I actually shorted right here, took profit right here, shorted again, took profit right here, and basically have been shorting up and down this range multiple times, making some really good gains and some good money. All right. And obviously, you can go into our community, check out the gains reviews right here in this channel right here, and you could see that. Okay. So the point is that this market has been giving you some very easy opportunities to make really good money with just shorting. All right. Longing has been extremely difficult because you basically have to time the market to be able to catch bottoms like this and also to be able to sell tops like this. Versus shorting, when you start seeing key levels of resistance being hit and not broken and key levels of support being broken, you just place a short, put a stop above, the previous local high, and let the thing just run, right? So for the most part, I mean, shorting has just really been my forte for the last 4 or 5 months, and our community has really been excelling at it, right? All right, so you're probably wondering, okay, where are we right now, and will um, continuing to short be beneficial or lucrative? Well, let's look at it, right? So for the most part, on the 30-minute time frame, we've hit a pretty critical area right here, which is about 71.50, $7,200. Pretty, I would say it's a pretty sizable support. I don't know if it's the strongest support, but it's a sizable support nonetheless because you could see right here, this bottom right here was formed double bottom, and then this is what allowed price to push up all the way over here, right? So of course, when we're going to come back from here all the way down here, more than likely we'll probably push back up. Okay, now it's not necessary that we have to push back up, but the chances are that this support right here will probably be the same support right here as well because the same buyers who did not let this thing break will probably not want it to break right here as well. Okay, at least for the temporary time being. Okay, so chances are we could look at this, potentially push back up at least to this particular block right here of consolidation. So that's between say 72.80 all the way to about 73.80. So that's a $100 block right there. A next particular area that I could see price kind of coming back towards is this area right here. Okay, this is a pretty big area where price sort of consolidated, broke down, but came back into the trading range. Um, Basically stopped out some shorts right here, and then boom, pushed down. Okay, so that's the next big area price to come back to. But let's look at it one level at a time, right? So first is this area right here, then it's this. So if price does push back up, look for those areas to take profit in your longs, or maybe to even potentially open up some short positions. Okay. Now 4 hour time frame, as I've said before, the one thing that I've been paying attention to for many months is the monthly opens, and I've mapped out the October, November, and December monthly opens right here with a simple chart like this. Notice how on the daily time frame, you could see price hovers on that monthly open multiple times right here, and then boom, breaks down, tests it as resistance right there, and then sells off. Okay, even October back here. Notice October started right here, right? So over here, it's supported by price. Supported by the monthly open. Boom, breaks down, tests it as resistance, breaks through support, breaks down, tests it as resistance right there, and then breaks down further. You can see when price comes back to those levels, it likes to kind of hover around that area. I don't know whether it's professionals or bots or algorithms, whatever the case may be, right? Something helps bring the price to gravitate near that monthly open. So December's monthly open is currently around 75.50 or so. So if price does push up all the way to about 75.50, that's a potential area for price to essentially, get rejected by. I mean, notice right here. Look, December started right here. Okay, so after December started right here, notice none of these candles right here were able to close above the monthly open. That's got to say something, right? So none of these candles close, and then boom, sells off for the next 4 days right here. Okay, so now we're sitting on support again. Is it possible we get back towards that monthly open? I think it's very possible. I don't see why not. So you could potentially take a long with a stop just below these wicks around, let's just say 7,050, and aim for that monthly open, or simply just wait for the monthly open and potentially short from there down. Okay, and I still do believe, like I said, I still am of the firm belief and opinion that the 200 weekly moving average that you're seeing right there, this red marker, the red ribbon right here, and this weekly consolidation block around 5,000 to 5,500 will get hit at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm more confident that the trend is still down, and I think the people who are longing will probably get burnt over time. The market is taking a longer time to break down, and that's fine, okay? This gives us more sort of fuel to the fire because you get more people to sort of become bullish in this area just because it's taking longer. The faster the market moves down, the less people are bullish, right? But the slower the market moves down, people start sort of rethinking their bearish scenario, their bearish stance, and then they start becoming, 50% bulls, 50% bears, or just aggressive bulls. And so this is good because you don't want just a vacuum of everyone selling, right, or everyone shorting. You want some pain to be inflicted on the longs because then it creates more bleeding, more action to the downside. Okay. Again, the full capitulation really hasn't happened. The hash ribbons have not widened like they have here in 2018. So I'm still looking for that minor capitulation, maybe in the next coming month or two. I don't know when it's going to happen. Time is really hard to predict in technicals, so I don't care to do so. But if I were a betting man, I don't think it should be more than 2 months for the full capitulation to bring us to 5,000 to 5,500. Okay, because we do have that May 2020 halving coming up, right? So anyway, but yeah, aside from that, I mean, 4-hour time frame again. We had this big trend line that we were looking at. Once price got rejected right there, pulled back, and then pushed through, you can notice we're kind of like hovering right on top of that trend line. So you can make the argument that this is bullish. Personally, I think it's kind of bearish because all we're really doing is, we broke up above this, and now we're just like continually just sliding down. At some point, we're going to get a pretty bearish candle, and we might tank down like that. Okay. Gotten rejected by this purple block. Like I said, this was the last block before we had that $3,000 push up in 3 days. We got rejected essentially by that same block right around this area. So I don't see why we can't just keep selling off. Okay. That's pretty much it, folks. My Discord, free community link is below in my YouTube description. This is where you can join right here. Not a whole lot goes into this area of the community. The paid channels are all the ones that you see that are locked right there. And this is where we have a lot of the information, a lot of the analysis. The videos like you see right now, we provide multiple updates through the day, letting people know exactly what I'm seeing in the markets, kind of like that, kind of like that. All these updates that you see. So this is kind of what you pay for, okay? A lot of information. Also, just an amazing community with people from all over the world who talk about, their experience, what they're trading, sharing their analysis, etc. Okay, so come join our awesome community, and I hope you have a good day of trading, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right, cheers.